On today's show, we're going to run through a fun hypothetical WNBA expansion draft exercise. If the league was to expand to add two teams in Oakland and Toronto. So those are two of the many rumored cities we've seen so far. But as many know, WNBA expansion likely won't come until 2024, 2025. But this exercise can get fans familiar with its format and drafts up. And just drafts of any kind are always a lot of fun. We did one with the WNBA draft a little bit back, and that was a lot of chaos. So we expect the same thing today. So Lost Women's Basketball starts now.
Ogunbowale for the win. Good!
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball.
Welcome. You are listening to Basketball. My name is Hunter Cruse, and I'm the Saturday host covering the NBA draft and college basketball at large. Thanks for making Lost Women's Basketball your first listen every day. Remember, Lost Women's Basketball is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. Today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the quality candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnba. I'm joined by co-host Joshua Welch. Joshua is a women's basketball content creator and can be found at ENFP_hoops on Twitter. So, like I said, we're going to do a WNBA expansion draft. And first, before we get into our protected players, I want to run through just a little bit of some of the rules. I will share my screen. If you are watching this on YouTube, I will share my screen so we can all follow along with this draft. So, go.
While you're pulling that up, I'll go through the rules really quick. So, for each team, we could protect 50% of the players. If there was an odd number, we got to pick the higher number to be protected. So if there was 9, we got to protect 5 and leave 4 exposed. And even with that, there were some teams where it was really tricky. I don't know about you, but there were tough decisions that had to be made.
So, like I said, how we're gonna go about this real quick is. So I had 6 teams and Josh had 6 teams. We both we're the general managers deciding which players we would protect. So I had all of the ones that are colored in gray, which is Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, Minnesota, Phoenix, and Washington. And then he had the opposite ones. So just go through a couple real quick with your teams and what you've seen through this exercise.
Yeah, Atlanta, you'll notice Tiffany Hayes not on there. They could have had the option to retain her with her being under that suspended contract status and leaving the season early. I chose for the Dream to move on and go a different direction. So Hayes is not listed on here. I have AD, Wallace, Montpremier, Carzola. Another tricky one was Connecticut. Where there were 8 players and I had to pick 4 to expose. And I went with them going for another title run instead of retaining the future. So I stuck with A.T. Bonner, John Quell, and Jasmine Thomas. What were tricky ones for you? What were the top 2 tricky ones for you?
So with Dallas, for me, I prioritize the young players. It's contrary to what Connecticut is. I prioritize the young players with Awak Queer, which was top 3 lottery pick. And then also Veronica Burton, who had one of the highest plus minuses last season and was super productive for Dallas as their backup guard. So that leaves Marina Mabrey, who is a restricted free agent this offseason.
I was shocked when I saw her on her list.
Yeah, because it's Dallas has such a deep roster in terms of young players.
They really do.
So they go into the offseason with almost a full roster. So it's very unique. New York's in a similar situation, as we can see there.
I forgot to bring that up. That was probably my most controversial. I put Natasha Howard as on the exposed list. I liked how Hahn was playing. They got Stephanie Dolson. And they're going to try to be major players on the free agent market, and having that contract off of there could potentially help them in being able to make the moves they want to. And I think they're fine at center without her on the team. So we'll see.
Another one, this wasn't mine, but what I noticed is Gabby Williams is available for Seattle because they can only protect 2 players. She probably won't be coming over this next season. No guarantees.
That's what I was thinking.
So, yeah, I think I would still pick Ezzy anyway. I think I'd pick Ezzy regardless.
It would have been closer, though, but with the comment she made at the end of the season, it's like, with that being up in the air, that I definitely wouldn't put my stake in her and be like, yeah. So, but yep, I probably still would have picked her too.
Another interesting one for me was Las Vegas. It's tough for them because they have to just pick their top 5 players. They can't take any of their young players without losing an all-star caliber player. So that leaves a lot of
use their bench that much anyway.
Luckily their core is still pretty young. They aren't like Connecticut where they're nearing 30s and up. They have a lot of young players with Kelsey Plums in her late 20s, Jackie Young mid-20s. I think she's around 25, 26. Asia Wilson around the same spot, and then Chelsea Gray's a veteran. So that leaves Kirsten Bell, Ileana Repair, Aisha Shepard, and then Raquana Williams is on that board as well, former All-Star. So how did you go about with Las Vegas picking Amanda Zahui B over their couple first-round picks? What was your process through that?
Oh, for Los Angeles. Yeah, like obviously Kenny, Ono, Katie Lou. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't buy in that they're that like committed to their younger players. I think they're going to be major players in free agency. Just getting some front court depth. I don't think there's as many players at the center position to go after. They don't know what's going on with NECA. Like she's probably coming back, but it's not a guarantee. So they want to have that veteran presence in the paint before having to hopefully get someone in free agency if there's a turn that they don't expect. So that's why I went with her. And I'm also a huge AZB fan in her game, and I hope she's going to be back in the W this season.
So coming on our show, we'll continue and dive into our drafting portion of this WNBA expansion exercise, which is bound to bring a lot of chaos. First, let me tell you guys about LinkedIn Jobs. As a small business owner or hiring manager, you know the success in 2023 all depends on the team members you surround yourself with. That's why we have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. With LinkedIn Jobs, you can hire quality candidates more efficiently by matching open roles with people who have the skills, values, and experiences to help you achieve your goals. LinkedIn Jobs help you quickly attract qualified candidates to your open jobs with target tools that go beyond the resume's data by using insights from your jobs post, company, and their 875 million member profiles that put your post in front of the most qualified candidates. LinkedIn Jobs makes it easy to screen and rate applicants based on your job qualifications, all on one platform. It's why small business rates LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the quality candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your jobs for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnba. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnba to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. And we're back. So I'm going to switch it over to onto the board. So at first we have Toronto at #1. I'm taking Toronto. Josh is taking Oakland. So if I switch back here, we're going to go to make it easy instead of having a big long board. We're going to go each pick a player from Atlanta, Chicago, go cross. But how our process is going to work is you can only take 2 players per team. So you go straight through down and back around. We'll do that. So first, I have first pick, and I think I'm going to go Christy Wallace with my first pick here. I think.
Okay.
I think it's the easier pick for me. I think surrounding players. I think AD Durr just needs more on ball responsibilities. So that'll give it to you, who's probably got more of an obvious pick for you.
Yeah, no, this one, like, it's both players that had spurts last season. Both were out at different times. So yeah, it's going to be risky, but there's a lot of ceiling as well. And yeah, I like that AD is available. I didn't think that you were going to go with Christie, so I'm pleased to have AD, who had some games, like I believe at one point had 2 straight 20-point outings for the Dream last season. So there's a lot to go off there. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. And so I'm first with the Chicago Sky, and I am choosing Julie Allemond.
Julie Allemond. That was definitely going to be my pick. If I could have had them. So for me, I'll go Ruthie Hebard. I think that'll be my pick here. And then following that up with Connecticut.
I think this one's pretty obvious. I'll be shocked if you don't pick a player on here.
I think Natisha Heideman's. I guess Natisha Heideman's my pick here.
That was it was so frustrating having her on there. Like I had to choose between Jasmine Thomas and Natisha Heideman. I'm like, And for me, I'm going to pick my backup point guard spot. I'm just going to pick both of my point guards back to back and go Nia Clouden with my Connecticut Sun pick. I think she showed a lot of potential, especially later in the season and in the playoffs. I think there's something there for my franchise. And then, so I'm picking first with Dallas. I wonder who I'm going to pick. Marina Mabrey. Obvious point there. I can't hear you.
Oh, I was on mute. That was my bad. So I think I'll go.
Oh no! I hope it's not my headset.
Yeah, I think I'll go Kayla Thornton here. As much forward depth as possible. Because I think I've yet to get a forward so far. I think Ruthie Hebard is more of a big. So Kayla Thornton will be my pick there.
If Mabrey wasn't there, like there were a couple intriguing pieces. Ty Harris was really good at the point guard position as well at times. And Collier hasn't been given much of a chance, would be like a younger player to potentially give more minutes in my front court. But yeah, it couldn't turn down Mabrey.
Yeah.
So you're first with Indiana. And this one, I went with the youth, if you couldn't tell, in the protected list. I don't think they were too tied to their veterans for a team wanting to go a different direction.
So with Indiana, I think I'll go Victoria Vivians with my pick here. I think I'll go my pick here. Victoria Vivians.
Interesting. Well, I already picked my point guards. I'm going to go Emma Cannon. I need some depth in my front court, and the Fever, when they thought they were going to get rid of a cap hit, they still have Robinson on their roster.
I think you're up. Are you up again with this next pick?
Oh yeah, you did Indiana. So I'm doing Las Vegas. I'll pick Raquana Williams. Actually, you know what? I need a center. I'm going to go with someone who I think has been really good in Italy on Cheyenne Parker's team. I'm going to go with Rupert. Throw a little bit of a curveball.
Probably would have been my pick. So next here, I think I'll go Kirsten Bell. That'll be my pick here.
Dang, I am surprised Raquana Williams stayed. Aces are thrilled.
so far, I've went more with veterans so far. With Dallas, same with Connecticut, more of a veteran side. So with my next pick, we have Los Angeles. I think the more easy pick here would be Ray Burrell. She didn't play a lot as a rookie. I think just like 3 games as a rookie, but she was super productive at Tennessee in her limited minutes when she wasn't injured. So I think that offers some good upside play because so far I've went Vivian's, Heidemann. So just more of a youth player that we've yet to see a lot from, but could provide some down the line. So
yeah, that explains this full list on the Sparks pretty much with players that haven't been able to prove. I'm going Kiana Smith. I liked her game at Louisville. Had small spurts in the limited minutes she had with the Sparks. I'm going to go with her on my next pick. And Minnesota. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call. Oh, it's Cheryl Reeve. Yeah, okay. I don't want that cap hit. Okay. No, I'll take that. Okay, thank you. Sorry, just had to take a phone call. So the Lynx have decided to trade draft positions with me. So Oakland is very pleased to take Natalie Achanwa. They really like her, especially with how she relates with the Canadian fans, but just the cap hit that she takes, she might not even be able to play this season with potentially being on pregnancy leave. We have taken Achanwa and traded draft positions with them, so they will be picking number 4, and I will be picking number 2 now, and hopefully we get someone from Northern California to be just a really good face of the franchise. Whoever that is, don't want to tip my hat, but...
So for me here, I'm going Jessica Shepard. She had a couple of big games this past season. Not the greatest shooter, but she can provide some utility in the mid-range. A solid defender. I just think there's some more there. But what I've noticed, there's just so many forwards on this list. There's so many forwards on this list.
There are.
A lot of forwards. So that means I go back-to-back here. And I'm going to go DD Richards here. I think I'm going DD Richards because I've taken so many forwards at this point. I need a guard. Yeah, I think I need a guard here. So what's your pick?
Yeah,
here?
one of the most underrated defenders in the W. So I don't mind that pick, and I am not going to provide the Liberty with cap relief either. I'm going Rebecca Allen. I think she's going to provide good veteran leadership, has a solid jump shot. I don't want to personally take on that cap hit, especially after taking on Achanwa, just in case we may want to make other deals at the draft. Yeah, I think we'd be fine going with Rebecca Allen.
I think you're next up here with...
I am. Okay, so next with the Phoenix Mercury. I'm going to go with Petty. Has struggled being able to stay on the court, but just at times was really electric and able to score. It's worth taking a shot on a team that is probably in rebuild mode. And then if some players that are given a bigger opportunity are able to succeed, it could lead to a solid season. What about you?
With my pick here, I think I'll go Megan Gustafson's here, my pick.
Okay.
She is one of the best players in Europe. She's super productive in Europe. I think she'll just provide us some more depth. If this was in this hypothetical expansion draft, she probably would end up making my final roster just because of all of the forward depth we already have. But I think she's my pick here with this first one.
No, and you said, incredible overseas, and then was incredible with Iowa as well. But worth just having her on the training camp roster. So
for sure,
almost.
I think I'm up here with Seattle.
You are.
So with Seattle here, I think I'm going Gabby Williams with my pick here.
Okay.
So we likely wouldn't have her this season, but that gives us an extra roster spot. Long term. Not the greatest shooter, elite defender, has just a lot of lockdown wing defensive tools. So I think just the upside of having her back at some point, maybe it's not this season, maybe it's not next season, but at some point we just hope we can have her back.
And you will have the rights to her. Yeah.
We'll have the rights to her. And as an expansion franchise, that'll give us more time to give minutes to our young players. So when she's back, we'll be ready to go. You have a hard decision here.
Oh yeah, Mercedes Russell, and I'm pleased with the pick. Like Seattle, like you said, like only having 4 players to choose from, it made it really, like they had to get rid of 2 roster players that played a significant role of their season last season. So very pleased to get Mercedes Russell in the fold.
And I think you have a pretty easy pick here as well.
Yes, I am going Myisha Hines-Allen.
So I think I will go Rui Machida here with this pick.
Okay.
I know as much as Washington likes her, they can't give her that protected spot just because they have their 4 core players. So we could use passing. I don't think this team has a lot of shooting outside of in the guard position because we have.
Yeah, you don't really have a 3-point shooter out of who you pick, so this would be
we have Chrissy Wallace. Chrissy Wallace is a pretty good shooter.
True.
We have Heideman's progressed some as a shooter. No standout elite shooters. But do you have an elite shooter? Like who's your best shooter on this team? For you,
Mabry
in the backcourt. Yeah. But then consider we have the lockdown defenders. Like so, we'll compare our teams after this. But
but no, am I probably going to the playoffs with my lineup? No, but that's why I don't know. I went younger at times where I could have gone a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to build for the future and be competitive. I think my team will still be able to be competitive.
So now we're going to do the drafting portion because with the expansion draft, usually the team will have an opportunity to get a player in the following draft. So after the expansion draft, you have the regular WNBA draft. So because I went first with Toronto in the expansion draft, Joshua goes first. And we're just going to – how are we going to assume – okay, we're going to assume Aaliyah Boston goes 1, and we'll just say Diamond Miller – we'll just say Diamond Miller goes 2.
Excuse me, I made a trade with the Minnesota Lynx GM to take Natalie Achanwa to get their second pick. So
That's right.
I'll happily make this pick of Haley Jones. She will be just a great Northern California representative. So many of the fan base is familiar with her game, and I think she's going to be a face that's able to bring excitement on our team and fill seats. What about you at 4?
So because we're going to assume Diamond Miller goes at number 3.
Okay.
That's going to mean we need to add something else in the backcourt. I think my pick is going to be J.C. Sheldon here at number 4.
Okay. Surprise.
We really need some guards that can create havoc on defense and also shoot. We don't have that combination yet because Dee Richards can do some of that, but her shooting hasn't really came along. As much as I like her defense, it's kind of hard to have her as like a starter, and that's when we'll go with J.C. Sheldon. So the second round, we're going to go about it as using our personal boards. Who isn't top 14 is available for the second round. And the third round, we'll just pick players that we'd consider to be third rounders. So you go first here with Oakland at number 15.
And I'm going Tiana Jackson of Kansas. I don't know if she'll even be second round if she keeps playing the way she has been. Like, again, just completely improved her offensive game when the defensive game and rebounding was there. So just super excited to bring her into the fold, especially when we don't have anybody besides Rupert at center for us right now.
So this pick is actually pretty easy for me. I'm going Hannah Jump.
You just talked about wanting a 3-point shot, so yeah.
We need a lockdown 3-point shooter, and she's someone we can have as like our 8th or 9th player off the bench, and that's exactly what she's going to provide for us. So I'll give it to you with this third round pick. Usually a third round pick probably wouldn't have a lot of value, but for us, this player is going to contend because some of the players I took are like training camp fighting for spots. So this is another player that will be in a similar position. So I'll give it to you with this pick, number 27.
I'm going to go Kaiser out of Michigan. another player that adds front court depth, and especially since the players I picked that are veterans, they're going to be off after this season. So just getting someone into the fold that has really had a breakout year. I think she could add some offense to our game, and already has been a good rebounder. So just investing in our front court depth, and hopefully it pays off in the future.
So for me here at number 28, I think we'll go
Yeah, I know you're scrolling through the draft board of what the other teams picked. I know.
Yeah, I think we'll go Quenisha Lockett here at number 28.
Okay. I have heard from the school that she is staying another year, so that's why she was not on my draft board anymore. Just a heads up, unless something changes.
So I have her. I think we're just gonna have as many competitive guards. She's similar to JC Sheldon, not as good of a scorer. So, but she's a player that can definitely compete in training camp as a bench scorer with some defensive upside. So.
Okay.
After the break,
going the full. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said after the break, we'll compare our rosters and decide which hypothetical expansion franchise is better set up for the future. So, I want to give it to you first to run through your entire roster and who you took from each team.
So, do you want to do like starting lineups first?
Yeah, we can set up. Yeah, we can set up a starting lineup.
Okay. So at point guard, I'm going to have Julie Alleman. Man, I'm trying to think of how to do my lineup. If I want Mabry to be at the 2 or have AD in the starting lineup. Let's see. I'm going to have, man, it's tricky going back and thinking. I'm going to have Rebecca Allen at the 2. Mabry at the 3. At the 4, I'll have Mercedes Russell. And then at the 5, it will be a mix of Rupert and Jackson.
So for my starting lineup, at the 1, I'll go JC Sheldon.
Oh, shoot. I made a big mistake. Hold on. I have Maisha Hines-Allen on the bench. Hold on.
You didn't start Haley Jones either.
Oh, my gosh. This is things that will be sorted out in training camp. Gosh. Okay. So Mabry actually moves to the 2. We'll have Haley Jones at the 3. Maisha Hines-Allen at the 4, I guess. And then Mercedes Russell. I'm just going to have a smaller front court, and then Rupert and Jackson get playing time and everything, but don't have a true center in the lineup. Just to
there's a lot of versatility. There's a lot of versatility with your team. They kind of remind me of Indiana last season,
which they did really well. So
yeah, they did really well actually. So, actually thinking about it now, I think I'm gonna go JC Sheldon, Natisha Heidemann. At the 3, we'll go with Victoria Vivians.
Okay.
Kayla Thornton, and then at the 5, shoot, we don't have a true 5. I think we'll have to go with Jessica Shepard as our 5. That'll have to be our 5, yeah.
Okay. That front court is interesting.
Yeah, our front court isn't the best, but our bench, off the bench, we have at the top of our bench, we have Kirsten Bell. In no order, Kirsten Bell, Christy Wallace, Dee Dee Richards. We're going to just beg Gabby Williams to come over and play for us because we need her bad. And then we also have Hannah Jump off our bench. So,
okay. Yep.
Realizing it now, we don't have as much size as I wish we had. We also have Ray Burrell as well. We don't have as much size as I would like, but
and I have size, but then I have star players that are taking those spots. So I'm really having to go off of how games go. If it's looking bad off the bat, I'm going to make those veterans upset and get the youth in and set up our future. So on the bench, I have AD who's going to get some significant time. Clouden at backup point guard. Mabry obviously starting. Cannon coming off the bench, and a good veteran presence. Rupert obviously getting some time, and hopefully she establishes herself as a franchise center. Kiana Smith, she would be one of my cuts. I think if we have enough backcourt depth, we have to make the toughest decision. Achanwa, we don't want to eat the cap space and then not keep her. Like, she's someone that provides veteran presence. Even if she's not available this season, we have her on for another season with how the Minnesota Lynx signed her. Rebecca Allen coming off the bench. That's pretty solid. Shea Petty coming off the bench. Maybe someone that gets cut. Yeah. What about you?
So with my team, I want to go another direction so with expansion franchises, they don't expect to be good in year one. That's kind of like a consensus. These teams aren't going to be good if they
Unless
were a team.
they sell the future. I've seen other sports where like they make themselves super competitive for year one, and then after they're just jacked at everything for a long time until they can get back.
Oh yeah. That is a strategy, but I would probably not take that. I wouldn't take that strategy with how stacked these upcoming draft classes are. I would just say, okay, we're gonna be bad. Oh well, we're gonna be bad. But who would you consider to be like your three building blocks? For me, I think like if we were gonna say, okay, these are my three players I want to keep around and give as many opportunities, would probably be J.C. Sheldon at the top. Kirsten Bell, I would say, is also in that grouping. Gabby Williams would be my number three. But if she's not over in this year one, we'll prioritize Natisha Heidemann as like our building blocks. So whenever the goal is in like 3 to 4 years, whenever we'll be able to get competitive, similar to how Atlanta was, because at that point in their expansion franchise, they started to get extremely competitive. Those are the 3 or 4 players we expect to be around. So who would you say is like your 3 to 4 most like valuable players, you would say?
I would say the players I picked the first 2 rounds, I really like Haley Jones and Tiana Jackson. There's not a lot of centers like her, in my opinion, so I think those would be 2 good building blocks. Potentially Rupert. It just depends what she would do with extended playing time. Definitely Haley Jones. I mentioned that earlier. Marina Mabry. She's still in her mid-20s, so someone that can contribute value. She did talk to us prior to us signing her that she would sign a long-term deal with us, her being an RFA. She said she liked the vision of Alana Beard and wanted to commit full on with this franchise. So yeah, those are the 3 I would build around.
Yeah, so final score predictions, just being honest, I think you would probably have the better team here. I really should have taken Elizabeth Kitley. I realize that now. I probably should have taken her as like a center depth with that extra pick. So,
or your favorite from France.
Oh, I know. I could have taken her. Like I could have taken Mia Hirsch. That would have been an opportunity for me as well, as to have more depth in the front court. But we're gonna just like spend all of our money on free agency and just try to get like a bunch of like skilled bigs. That's gonna be our goal. Hypothetically, would be our goal. So this was fun to just like run through a hypothetical expansion draft. Because in a couple of seasons we'll probably have different players in the fold, some different restricted free agents. But I'm curious.
Really quick, I have to bring it up. I am disappointed like that there's been multiple groups that show they're ready, specifically like Oakland, and then Nashville has been really prominent in being ready, Toronto, and it's not happening right now. I don't know what the holdback is, but there's more talent coming into this league. Like it's frustrating that there's not more roster spots for the veterans that are here already, and then the group that's going to be coming in over the next couple seasons and even in this draft. So I hope it happens sooner rather than later. But yeah, sorry, go on, continue.
That's definitely the benefit of having an expansion draft, is giving more opportunities for more players, because a lot of players on this list are just not getting a lot of minutes right now. Most of them are super young players that are unproven. Like, for example, we have like Sam Thomas, which is a player that didn't get a lot of minutes. Same with like Kiana Smith got like spot minutes. So like Kayla Porter as well, Jasmine
And
Dickey.
I'm glad you brought up like Thomas and Dickey. Like it's a domino effect. Like these players, even if they don't get picked in the expansion draft, will get more playing time with their original team because obviously there would be another spot available for minutes. And I think of someone like Dana Evans who would really get a chance to take full reins of the lineup and everything with Allemand out. Just different players like that get potential minutes and a chance to be who they already thought they were with the franchise. So yeah, excited.
Because we saw it with Allemand at the Wubble season where she was like second or third in the league in assist, I think.
Yeah.
So
that was wild.
This would definitely give more opportunities for players like that who would not get it otherwise.
She would be at my undisputed starting point guard.
For sure.
Yeah, so
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
really quick before we head off, if we have time, is there someone that you think would be upset with how your roster is constructed and becoming part of this team, like their playing time decreases and becoming part of this team?
Playing time decreasing, I would honestly say either like Victoria Vivians or Kayla Thornton maybe. Because Vivians is going from a bad team to an even worse team, and she might not get as much minutes because I have Kirsten Bell and Ray Burrell that might steal her minutes. Just saying, okay, we're going young. We're tanking. So Kayla Thornton is someone else that they would probably start, but like our minutes would be like 20. It'd be like 25 would be like our max minutes. It'd be super spread out between our entire bench. In this hypothetical scenario. What about for you?
I would say Maisha Hines-Allen. I think would be pretty upset at Mercedes Russell with not. I don't know. They had centers in the past, and all of a sudden they're just put in a role where they have to overextend themselves and try to figure out a rotation that's going to work for this team. When they were on title contenders before and having to completely change their mindset and what to expect for the season.
But thanks for making Locked On Women's Basketball your first listen today. Now make your second listen Game to Game NBA. Every moment, every top performance, every result. Locked On Game to Game covers every game across the NBA with local experts and analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NBA, available in the Odyssey app, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts.